Trzy osoby w jednym ciele. Historia Chris Sizemore. Chwilę chcę zerknąć, co to jest. To jest nawiązanie do tego, że chłop miał tam rozdwojenie jaźni w tej grze.
Poznajcie Chris
Tu nie ma.
Sizemore, w tym momencie jako Eva White, jedna z 3 jej osobowości. Grzeczna, skromna dziewczyna.
Pamiętałem to już? Tak, ale nie pamiętam nic.
Could I speak with Eve Black now? Sure. Eve Black? How you feel?
Yeah, good.
Drugą osobowością jest Eva Black, zabawowa, flirtująca dziewczyna.
Did you enjoy the trip over today?
Yeah.
Trzecią osobowością jest pozytywna, kontrolująca sytuację Jane.
Are you aware of things when Eve White and Eve Black are out?
Yes.
What's your evaluation of Eve White?
I think she's a very conscientious, very sympathetic, very religious.
3 osobowości żyją swoim życiem w jednym ciele, ciele Chris Sizemore. Różnią się prawie wszystkim. Poproszone o wybranie ubioru wybierają różne kreacje. Eva White wybiera skromną sukienkę i zachowuje się nieśmiale.
You like the lines of that dress?
Yes.
Ewa Black decyduje się na zalotną sukienkę i nie odmawia sobie flirtu.
Got a lot of skirt.
Jane najlepiej czuje się w stroju
Why do
formalnym.
you like that best?
I suppose I like suits. I like color too.
Z tym, że ta trzecia osobowość, Jane, została stworzona przez lekarza, doktora Corberta Hickmana, który chce wyleczyć Chris i właśnie w osobowości Jane scalić wszystkie pozostałe.
Could I speak with Jane? Jane? How you do?
I'm fine. How are you?
Co jest, kurwa? Nie wiem, to wygląda jak...
About 11 months.
About 11 months. When you first came out, did you recognize your relative, your mother and your father?
No, I didn't.
Was it hard for you to adjust?
Very hard.
You think that you would be the surviving one? Or...
I think that's difficult to say right now.
Eva White wyczuwa, że taki jest plan doktora.
You hope and expect that this will all soon be terminated? How do you feel about that?
I think Jane would be the one.
You feel that she will be the one?
Yes.
How do you feel personally about it, though?
But it's just something that's got to be.
Do you
I
feel...
want to get well, and if that's the only way to get well, that's the way I want it.
Do you feel that you will be in any part of it?
No, I don't feel that way.
Does it cause you distress?
In a way, I worry about Sarah.
You feel that she may not be taken care of?
Yes.
I see. Do you regret going, or what's your feeling about it?
No. I'm tired.
Dr Tickpen napisze książkę o tym procesie, która okaże się bestsellerem. Wkrótce zostanie zekranizowana jako film Trzy oblicza Ewy. Film odniesie ogromny sukces. Joan Woodward, grająca tytułową rolę, dostanie za niego w 1958 roku Oscara. Zarówno książka, jak i film kończą się happy endem. Osobowości scalają się w jedną, Jane, i zakłada ona szczęśliwą rodzinę. Naprawdę było jednak inaczej. Dr Tickpen nie wyleczył Chris.
Do you think he used you because he of course
Ty, to ona po latach. Dzięki, Kubiok.
wrote the famous book which then was turned into the movie which won an Oscar as Best Actress for Joan Woodward?
I think he did, but I think also that he was trying to help me and that he did help me, so I can't be critical of what he did.
Did he really help you, do you think? I mean, you've already said that you think he planted a new character in
Yeah,
your
but
mind.
he helped me integrate those three.
Oglądam.
Uczysz się jak leczyć mitomanów z rozdwojeniem jaźni, żeby wyleczyć Mammona?
Nie, po prostu jestem ciekawy.
Yes, I think he helped.
But the other thing that in many ways seems very wrong to an outsider is that he wrote, and the film made it appear, that you were cured.
Yeah,
and of course you weren't cured.
No, he was wrong, and in my book, you know, I've explained that
Wojna napisanie
that was
książek.
not the case. Dr. Tony Citos in Virginia actually was the doctor that brought about the healing process.
But of course it took another, 17 years
Yes,
of living with, as you said, 21 multiple personalities before you resolved them, found a way of bringing them all into the woman that we see before us today.
Well, I have to be honest, I'm grateful to Dr. Thigpen, but I don't admire him in the way he did it.
But I suppose what I'm interested in as we get to a slightly more sort of scientific sort of discussion of what you actually went through is the difference between Thigpen, who sort of invented the diagnosis,
Right.
and Citos, who then cured you.
Right.
Seems to me that Citos was much tougher with you. He wouldn't
he
he wouldn't
was.
summon all his characters and have a chat with
No.
them.
He felt that by calling them out, that he was reinforcing the illness, and I think perhaps he was right, because once that stopped and he did therapy, with whichever one went into his office, it became a part of the
O
healing
kurwica.
process.
You describe in your sessions with Citos how at one point to protect yourself.
Ciekaw jestem, czy nawet teraz, po tym czasie, jak została wyleczona, jakby ktoś do niej mówił, nie wiem, że wołał Jane albo Ewę, czy coś by się tam w niej odzywało. Czy jakieś nawroty by były.
From what was tough
Ale chodzi
question,
mi-
a tough session, you created another character who was
Nie
dumb,
żyje, ale jakby
mute,
żyła.
who
Right.
couldn't speak.
Hipotetycznie, czysto.
And you described that as a form of trying to protect yourself, but
Right.
Citos wasn't having any of it. He just wouldn't engage with that character. And
Wydaje mi
that
się, że
alter ego
mogłaby mieć
just
jakieś
sort of
nawroty.
faded away.
And
Jakby
same
to
thing was true with the
prowokować.
blind lady, you see. If he couldn't talk and get conversation with one of them, he would write it, so she went blind, so she couldn't read the directions in any of the therapy.
But when you describe that to me, it makes it sound as though you were being manipulative, that you were in sort of control and you sort of knew what you were doing. You were just putting up lots of defenses.
It sounds that way, I know, but actually I was not in control. Maybe I was to a degree. I hadn't thought about it that way, but it was so spontaneous, you know. One minute I'd be one person, and then the next minute somebody else. And the switches happened so fast, less than 5 minutes.
To ostatni wywiad Chris Sizemore dla BBC w 2006 roku, kilkadziesiąt lat po wyleczeniu.
How much of a hell is it
It
to
is.
be in this multiple personality situation without it being recognized or without getting treatment?
It's terrible because you might get up in the morning knowing who you are, and then midday somebody else, you don't know what's happening. You can't make appointments and keep them. It's very difficult. It's a chaotic life.
W wywiadzie opowiedziała też, jak choroba skomplikowała jej życie.
Both of my husbands, I had 2 husbands, married an alter ego. None of them married me. I did come
Co jest,
into
kurwa?
possession and a real live person with my last husband.
And do you ever suffer
Oh,
relapses?
I haven't had any in over 30 years now, so I feel that I'm a well person and that I can say so.
Is it not, though, sometimes an excuse to avoid responsibility? And again, looking at
A tutaj Synchro wywołuje drugą osobowość Mamona? Mamon ma jedną osobowość.
Ty, będziesz Jordan miało dzisiaj ksywę, dobra?
A ty 60.
Ej, wszyscy
Chuj ci
co?
mordę, tu już przegięcie.
Ja
the
pierdolę.
records, there was I think, an excuse to avoid responsibility. And again, looking at the records, there was I think, quite a famous case in Ohio where a man who was alleged of serious crimes, including rape, claimed that he actually had 11 personalities, and that a few of his personalities knew of the rape, but
Co w takim przypadku w sumie? Jak jesteś chory psychicznie, masz 15 osobowości, jedna zrobiła coś złego, karalnego i cię sądzą, a inne osobowości o tym nie wiedzą. Psychiatryk?
some of the others didn't, and his defense counsel called 11 different witnesses, all of whom were in his body, to speak. And in the end, the jury rejected it, said it was phony, and they convicted him.
And they
Oh.
were right because I was a witness there.
O,
So you actually helped to diagnose or actually
Right.
expose.
Yeah.
So do you think people are misusing this
Oh
diagnosis?
yes. Oh yes.
ha.
I had one person tell me, "Well, I just want to be famous, so I'm going to be multiple." It's not that simple, you know.
How did you know? Let's go back to the Ohio case. How did you know this particular individual was faking it?
Well, there are ways that certain questions you can ask, which I
Ona się zna.
don't really want to discuss. If they are real multiple, they immediately answer it a certain way. If they are not, they don't know what you're talking about.
You can't give me a clue as to what
I
that might be.
would rather not.
Is that because it's deeply personal, or?
Well, no, it's because I do work with multiples over the years, and I don't want to make it more complicated
Yes.
for them, you know.
Do you miss some of the separated characters? An amazing
Oh,
story.
I
Your
miss-
sister was very resentful for a
Yeah.
while because she loved one of your
She loved
personalities.
Jane. Yeah, she loved Jane. Yes, I miss Eve Black.
That's such a strange thing.
Która
to
to
say.
była? Eve Black to była ta, co spokojna, pozytywna, czy formalna? Ta flirciara. Okej. Jaka ruchawica? Nie nazywa się tak.
But I just don't have the courage and the nerve to do the things she did, and she lived life. She loved it.
Tak jak prawie wszystkie przypadki wielorakiej osobowości, przyczyną schorzenia były traumatyczne wydarzenia z dzieciństwa Chris.
At the age of 2, I saw a man cut in half at a lumber mill. Following that, still in a 3-month time frame, I saw my mother cut her arm very badly. That was just more than a 2-year-old could handle.
Kurwica. Nie wiem, dziwny ten filmik.